welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Joan. In today's video, I will be discussing what I watched during the month of October. I watched a decent amount of things, so let's get right into it. I started off the month with Unpregnant, starring Haley Lee Richardson and Barbie Ferreira. Now this movie is a kind of like a buddy, like a comedy buddy slash stoner film, kind of, where Haley Lee Richardson's character goes to get an abortion, and the only person that she goes to is Barbie Ferreira's character, her ex-best friend, after X amount of years. I think one of the funniest moments to me is just like the wackiness of this road trip movie. Like, it's just so wacky because they encountered like a random group of guys at a diner. Barbie Ferreira's character didn't tell her friend that the car they were using is actually stolen, or at least it will be reported stolen because it's not her car. And then they encounter this couple that's very, very right and very pro-life. So there was a big baby truck. But it was a genuinely good time. I think it's a really good film that explores abortion and the process that happens through it. And they really explained it, and it was very nice and very like comforting. So it was a good one. Then the next film I watched was Roadhouse, which is a favorite movie from my childhood. You know, what is there not to like? There's 90s action, bad lines, and Patrick Swayze. That was enough for me. Then I followed up with Enough, starring Jennifer Lopez, and honestly, the movie was pretty nice. I mean, it was pretty much about her character being in a domestic violence relationship and escaping from it, and it has a really good catharsis when she literally beats the shit out of him. Then I watched Fast Five, which again is another one of my favorite movies from my teen years. It's obviously objectively the best movie out of the whole Fast and Furious series. I literally watched this movie so many different times, and it's just great. The action's great, the characters are great, the interactions, it's just amazing. It's amazing. Then I watched High School, which is from 1968, for my documentary film class, and it's pretty much about the director, pretty much just follows a day in the life of high schoolers and what they do, and he doesn't interject at all. And I think it was a really interesting approach to a documentary because he kind of just let stuff happen. I finally finished The Wire, which took me literally 2 weeks for 5 seasons. I think it's a very good serial, and I think everyone should watch it when it comes to just filmmaking in general. And I loved it so much that I made another video about it, so you should go check it out. Then I watched Don't Look Under the Bed, and that was actually one scary movie from my childhood that I refused to watch, except I watched it for a video, which I also made, so go check that out. Then I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it was okay. I can barely remember anything about it. Then I watched Avengers Infinity War, and at this point, if you don't know what Avengers Infinity War is, then you are truly living under a rock. I watched The Boys Season 2. I finally finished that as well. Girls Get It Done thing, and then having Annie, Kimiko, and Maeve beat the shit out of Storefront. I think it was a good catharsis moment, and it really came full circle, and that was the best moment out of the whole finale, in my opinion. Then I also finished Lovecraft Country. Lovecraft Country was a different type of sci-fi show featuring black people, and I was here for it. It was so good. And I honestly would recommend this to black people. Like, black people should watch the show. And honestly, I love magic. So like, it has a really big deal with magic. Black women showrunners, because clearly Misha Green was doing the damn thing. Then I watched Love is the Message, Message is Death for my documentary film class, and it is directed by Arthur Jafa. Then after that, I watched Phantom of the Megaplex. And the thing is, I was gonna do a video for this, but I did not. But the only thing I really remember about Phantom of the Megaplex is that Mickey Rooney was in it. Then I watched Captain Marvel for the first time, and I liked this film. I don't know who are these people saying that was a bad film, but it was really good. Like, I watched it with my boyfriend for our MCU marathon, and I love the 90s, so I was digging that vibe. And Brie Larson, I think I'm subscribed to Brie Larson's channel, so watching her in this character for like so long, I've heard bad things about it. It's just like, no, that is her. Like, this is the way she acts. She's like funny, you know, and she's kind of just like mysterious. She's a Libra, makes sense. Then we watched Avengers Endgame, which again, if you don't know what Avengers Endgame is at this point, I cannot help. I will never get over Captain America's ass. for the Halloween mood, I watched It Chapter 2, which It Chapter 2 is the reason why there should be a best casting director as a category, because man, the casting of this film, I think about it still. I think about it today. Then I watched Us, directed by Jordan Peele, the one film that I knew Lupita was gonna get snubbed for. Then I watched Spider-Man Far From Home, when me and my boyfriend completed our MC marathon that we spent 8 months on. I thought Little Women was good, but it wasn't great. Now, okay, please don't come for me. But I think what got me about it is that, like, Saoirse Ronan, I think I'm actually starting to get tired of her shtick. I think it's really hit me, like, how much of a typecast character she is, and it just wasn't doing it for me anymore. Like, Inheritance is pretty much about this guy who inherits a house from his grandmother and then uses it to build a Black artist collective. And what they do is that they read poems together, they create plays together, they read plays together, they have people come in and talk about, you know, different things. And one of the biggest things from this movie that I learned about was the Move liberation movement that I've never heard of before. And come to find out, they were a big group that followed the readings of John Africa, and they wanted it's pretty much like a different kind of socialist movement in a way. Like, they think that all life is guaranteed to everyone, like soil, land, air, water, everything like that. And the Philadelphia police did not like that, and they pretty much bombed their way out of this group in the neighborhood. And it's really sad. Like, they literally, like, tried to get them out by, like, spraying their house and shooting at them. But then once they weren't leaving, they literally dropped a bomb in their house and killed 13 people, which included 7 kids and the leader, John Africa. And then the one person that actually survived was put in jail for trying to assault police officers. So it was just I've never learned about this thing before. And it was shot on a 16mm camera, so they had that vintage look. And it was a really good film. I really enjoyed it. It kind of reminded me of Black News and Love Is the Message, Message is Death, around that realm. Then Unapologetic, directed by Ashley O'Shea, it follows 2 women in their journey when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, and just like how they perceive their careers or lives in relation to that. And then the last movie I watched on Halloween to round out the month was Ready or Not. Ready or Not was also a very good movie. Like, I think it makes sense that Ready or Not is a sleeper hit. I really liked the humor. I really liked the family dynamic, because clearly they didn't know what was going on just as much as the bride. She did not know what's going on. They didn't know what was going on. And let me tell you, them just automatically combusting because they failed to kill this woman was honestly the greatest thing ever. Alright, that is all the things that I watched this month. It was pretty spooky, layered with a couple of Halloween themed movies, which I was actually proud I actually did. But yeah, that's all I watched. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join the great gang where I upload every Monday and Thursday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.